because of the pandemic, there was a major setback for sports and education, many of the activities. We all are definitely missing life. But one of the most positive and important thing that has happened this year during the pandemic is the government's decision to make sport as a part of the education policy. I never thought, that would happen, but I was very, very happy with this initiative from the government. But while we say this, we have many good policies on paper, but we have always been very poor in implementing them. But I'm sure, this step by the government, needs lots of support. We all know, in our country, academics has always been a priority. For a middle class person or for a lower middle class person, it has always been, the only way to come up in life was through education. That trend is slowly changing in the country now. Many parents are initiating children into sport, and taking sport as a profession is happening in the country. So I'm very, very happy with that sort of that trend happening. For again, coming back to this, getting this particular policy implemented, we need to support the government. Especially, it should start with the management of schools. Plays a very, very important role here. The headmaster, headmistresses, then teachers and parents. So the our mindset needs to change, because there is the common belief. The common belief is that if you are into sport, you are not good in academics. So that is not right. I've been coaching badminton for the last 25 years. In my experience is, what I have noticed is that many of the children who are into sport, they are also equally good in academics. Their time management and such things are much better than an ordinary child who's only just pursuing education. So this sport in that aspect plays a very, very important role, because through sport we learn to accept failures. Because again, the next, maybe 1 week we might lose, but in the next event that is happening, you get another opportunity to change. So sport really teaches us to accept failures. And also, so that is, parents play a very, very important role here, because it is when the children, when they are below 13 and 10 years, they need to be supported. It is the parents, like I mentioned, they need to support them towards maybe helping them get up in the morning early and putting them through some physical activity is a must. And that we need to continue. We need to not continue. I'm saying, it has to become a regular habit, because through good physical activity, you start the day very, very positively. So children at a very young age, especially I have noticed, the countries in the 60s and 70s, the Far Eastern European countries, even the Soviet bloc countries, they came out with a very good policy that every child between 4 and 6 years of age should get an opportunity to indulge in a bit of athletic activity, swimming and gymnastics. These three elements are part of excelling in any sport. So when they get that opportunity to indulge in that, so when the child is 7, 8 or 9 years, when they, depending on that aptitude, they can then easily adopt a particular sport and then come up in that sport. By indulging in sport, I'm not saying everybody will become champions, but sport will definitely help the child in better time management, they can take more responsibility, and they will also be mentally and physically strong. So please ensure that your children are put through, even though we are going through this pandemic, there is absolutely no harm in the child indulging in good physical activity early in the morning. So the responsibility is towards the parents in implementing that. And all this will definitely help us in the coming years, and I'm sure this particular policy of the government, including sport, the education policy, will go a long way for us, and it will help us come out as a very strong nation in sport. All the very best.